Excuse me, can I have your attention, please? My name is Matilda Drayton. I'm the chair of Alice Taylor Advisory Council. And I would like to, and on behalf of the residents of Alice Taylor and Miss Bennett, we would like to welcome you all to Alice Taylor. It's been nice to see so many new faces here, so many old faces here, and I just want to say thank you, and I hope you enjoy the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay? Yep. Wonderful. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Kim Janey. I'm the former mayor of Boston and the current president and CEO of Economic Mobility Pathways, or EMPath for short. Headquartered right here in Boston, EMPath is a national nonprofit that dramatically improves the lives of people living in poverty. For nearly 200 years, EMPath has helped thousands of families in the Boston community and all across our country climb the economic ladder. And we use a unique approach, providing direct services, including supporting families with our life-changing economic mobility coaching model, conducting research to evaluate and evolve our model, advocating to advance policy changes needed to transform our systems, and convening a global learning network of more than 150 human service organizations and government agencies all across the country and even a few across the ocean. And they are all adapting our coaching and mentoring model in their own work to support the families and their communities. At the root of EMPath's work is our mobility mentoring model. It's a research-backed coaching method for helping people climb the economic ladder. In our model, families are paired with a mentor who works with them one-on-one to set up and work toward goals related to finance, family, well-being, housing, and more. We've seen participants in our flagship program make remarkable strides, reducing their debt, increasing their savings, improving their credit scores, and doubling, even tripling their incomes. And while we know our model is transformative, we also know the importance of validation from those outside of the EMPath community to confirm what we've long known. Our AMP Up program and study in partnership with the Boston Housing Authority allows us to do just that. Lead researchers at Harvard University are evaluating the program while we provide life-changing support to BHA residents who are looking to not only meet their basic needs, but also achieve their biggest goals and to thrive. As we've continued to bring families into our study over the past year, we are incredibly encouraged by the progress that program participants, including the people who live right here in Alice Taylor, are making in achieving their goals. So far, nearly 50% of current program participants have achieved at least one of their goals that they've set for themselves with support of an EMPath mentor. Some program participants have reached milestones such as securing a good paying job or completing an educational or training activity, and others are pursuing home ownership. And later today, we will hear from an incredible participant in our AMP Up study, our program, who will share a little bit about her own story, and that's Zandria White. So I'm really excited to hear from her. Now, one of the reasons that our model is so effective is that it recognizes that people are the experts in their own lives. Our program participants know what is best for them and their families. But life is tough and we all need support. Our mentors help participants identify and set goals, strategize on how to achieve those goals, and tackle any roadblocks that will come up, and they surely do. As a result of this partnership, we see participants achieve amazing things. We are confident that the AMP Up study will continue to make the same kind of impact for BHA residents, especially as we ramp up our recruitment efforts in order to bring more families into the program and study. And if the study confirms what we know about our work, we are excited for the potential to replicate it in other cities across the state and nationwide. In closing, I want to thank you all for being here to spotlight this important program and study, the AMP Up Boston program, that is already making a difference for BHA residents. Many thanks to the members of my EMPath team for leading this work, and a very special thank you to Mayor Wu for not just being here with us today to recognize this program, but for all that you do to ensure that Boston families have the resources that they need to thrive. We deeply appreciate your support. I also want to thank Kate Bennett and her team at the Boston Housing Authority. They have been an incredible partner. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much. Zandria White, the EMPUP participant who will share her story. Where is she? Here she is. She is amazing, and I just can't wait to hear her story. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to your beautiful granddaughter. To all of the participants from EMPUP, those who are here with us today, those who are busy working on their goals, thank you for all of the hard work that you are doing to achieve your goals, and I just encourage you to keep striving. And last but not least, we want to thank the Alice Taylor community, the staff, the tenant task force, Ms. Bennett, everyone who helped us get to this point today. And now just a little bit about the order of the program. We will hear from Mayor Wu next. She'll be followed by Kate Bennett, and then we're going to save the best for last and hear from Zandria. So without further ado, I want to invite my successor, my sister in service, my friend, my mayor, Madam Mayor Michelle Wu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. It is always such a treat whenever I get to spend some time basking in all of the energy and passion that this mayor has for this incredible city and the many communities that we have both had a chance to be privileged and humbled to serve. It's always a good day when I get to see Miss Matilda and Ron and the Alice Taylor community, and to get to have all of that at the same time, plus Kate Bennett and Zandria. This is a thrill for me. I am reminded every day about the legacy that I am striving to build on, sitting in a seat that had been defined first and foremost by our first ever woman of color, Black mayor, someone whose roots go deep in this community and whose vision extends far beyond our time. And every day when I get into the office, I see the print that Mayor Janey left for me, first but not the last. And I take that very seriously and personally myself as an obligation and responsibility that we all share. So it's no surprise to me knowing the legacy that she built as mayor, one that was extremely intentional about building wealth right here in our communities, about connecting every resource for our residents, and of centering the joy that each family, each person in our city brings to our community. It is no surprise that she has ended up in charge at EMPath, where that mission is a 200-year-old legacy of how we continue to do better by supporting, not telling, not pushing, but listening and following the lead of our residents and our families. And so I couldn't be more honored to partner with the EMPUP program under your leadership. We know that everything in today's market and the challenges that our families are facing, everything has to go just right to buy a home, to get on that pathway. It feels like you're just pushing a boulder uphill. And that can only happen in this city and in cities across this country if you're not doing it alone. The model that EMPath has and that the EMPUP program is going to document and study and therefore help us replicate everywhere really gets to that key truth. We are all each other's village, and having someone there working alongside you, providing that direct coaching, mentorship, sometimes just a listening ear, is what we all need. And I want to be very clear that the benefits of this program aren't just for the participants who are in it. We all benefit when our families and our community members have what they need. We all benefit when our young people get to step into positions of leadership and power because they've been invested in to what they deserve, because they're going to turn right around and be in these seats very shortly. And so we are talking about our own future here and our shared collective prosperity. So I'm so grateful for that kind of approach through partners like EMPath. We are trying to do our part at the city and with Kate's leadership at the Boston Housing Authority. Just last month, we announced our own program to make the path to homeownership a little shorter and hopefully a little smoother for many families. The program that Kate has launched, First Home, enables eligible BHA residents to receive up to $75,000 in down payment assistance when buying in Boston. This is available not just to amp up participants, although we hope that it'll be part of the coaching and goal setting for sure, but to all BHA residents. And our goal is to help people skip a couple of those hard steps of going from a home in the Boston, our public housing development, to not just renting and having an apartment and saving up for down payment, and then buying a home, but to go directly from our resources here at the Boston Housing Authority to owning a home and building your family's wealth. That is the goal, and we look forward to seeing that fully launched with the inspiring residents here. If anyone is interested in learning more about this program, I figured I would, anytime I have a platform, and try to spread the word. You can find more information at bostonhousing.org/firsthome, all one word, no spaces. Boston is a city where people want to be, and our programs are really like Amp Up, First Home, and everything else that we are working on collectively. These are key parts of our strategy so that Boston will also be a place where people can afford to live and thrive here. This brings us closer to our goals of closing the racial wealth gap and providing the tools and resources for all of us to build prosperity in our communities. And so especially I want to thank Mayor Janey for continuing her legacy of service to this city and continuing to push the envelope for what we could be envisioning and making happen in Boston. So thank you so much, Madam Mayor. And now I'm really proud to hand it over to someone who is steering our ship here at the BHA, and I'm grateful for every day, our Administrator Kate Bennett.
Thanks so much, Mayor. Is this just a prop? I don't think it's working. Okay. First of all, I'm just struck and really delighted to share the speaking stage with these two amazing women, three amazing women that are with me today. Mayor Janey, Mayor Wu, and Matilda Drayton. It's just a privilege, honestly, to be here. I'm also really delighted that Mayor Janey chose to become CEO Janey at EMPath, which is an organization we've partnered with for so many years and have a strong relationship with. And I so respect your team, Kim, and everything that you do every day. I'm also thrilled that we're highlighting the Amp Up program, which we think could really be a game changer for many, many Boston residents that are extremely low income, and especially BHA residents. You know, public housing is a major stabilizing force for families, but they need to be able to thrive and not just survive. And I feel like the EMPath program is really bringing those supports and those opportunities, and we know from experience that this model works. One of the things I really appreciate about the EMPath model is it really meets our families where they're at. It's very holistic, and so it really addresses barriers that people are facing that get in the way of them reaching their goals, whether it's a past trauma or the need for more education or more job training or mental health counseling. You know, there's just the complexities that people are dealing with in their life really need to be dealt with in order for people to get on that path of economic mobility. And the EMPath program really meets people, you know, where they're at, and I just love that about it. We really want to recenter public housing as a place for economic mobility, right? That's really what public housing was intended to do all along, and we want to, you know, we're trying to sort of really bring that back, and you know, we believe that with the right social supports and the right economic opportunities, this can really be a launching pad for families, and that's why we're in this very deep partnership. We've had great success recruiting BHA families. We want to get the word out. Please, everybody here, get the word out. We want to keep enrolling families. And so spread the word. I really want to thank Nick Kelly from our team, who has launched, who's really kind of advanced this whole initiative on our end. And, again, thank you to Mayor Wu, CEO Janey, the incredible team at EMPath, Ruthie and everybody, and also our partners at Harvard and JPAL that are, making this program happen. So thank you so much. And I want to, I'm especially excited to introduce Zandria White, who's a participant in the program, who's going to talk about what it's been like for her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Wu and Kim Janey. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. My name is Zandria White, and I am currently a participant of EMPath Boston. I'm here to share with you the incredible impact EMPath program has had on my life. First of all, I'm a single mother of 4 grown children, and I also have 4 great grandchildren. I was born and raised in Boston. My kids were too. I have a lot of history right here in this community. I grew up here as a child before it transformed into Alice Taylor Apartments. Could you believe 50 years ago, I was a 5-year-old running around these grounds in Mission Hill? I remember many fun times playing in the gym just around the corner from here, now known as the Thomas Johnson Community Center. Could you believe I knew Mr. Johnson? I knew him well. He used to yell at me all the time. While I have many wonderful memories growing up, life at the time was not without a challenge. In addition to growing up, living in poverty, which meant it was always struggle to put food on the table or to get new shoes. March 30th, 1980, I lost my dad due to opioids. I was just 13 years old. The stigma of addiction brought me a lot of shame growing up. At that time, it was not something people openly talked about. My journey to where I am now has been tough, but these memories and experiences have shaped who I am today. And where I am today has me more excited for the future. I am currently living in Section 8 housing in Dorchester. I learned about the Amped Up Boston program through another program I'm in called the Compass Family Self-Sufficiency Program. I joined one of the information sessions, and there I knew I was eligible, so I applied. When I was selected for the EMPath program, I was paired up with a mentor, Jonah, who I will be meeting, who I met with monthly and sometimes more. I remember our very first conversations. When we started talking about what goals I have for myself, I was pretty negative then. I wasn't really allowing myself to think about goals. I simply wasn't believing anything was possible. So the energy I brought to our conversations matched that. But guess what? My mentor, he didn't get frustrated. When I was being negative, he listened. He acknowledged the hardships I have been through and gave me the space to talk. He validated my feelings. He reminded me by saying, Zandria, you are not your past, which is something I constantly repeat to myself now. He treated me like a person. As a result, I came to trust him, and we were able to build a relationship. After we got through that first roadblock, I was able to open up. and began working on things I needed to work on. We took baby steps in our conversations about goals, talking through jobs and education, and what I wanted to work towards. If there was a direction I didn't want to go, I let him know, and he listened. He reminded me, Zandria, you are in the driver's seat. I'm the passenger, and I'm here to support you. He trusted. I knew what was best for me and my family. As I progressed through the program, my confidence began building. My mentor helped me build a strong foundation towards achieving my goals. First, helping me set up my own budget system. This has helped me to make incredible strides towards my future. My goal of being debt-free. He also gave me the tools and guidance to break things down into small steps so things are not so daunting. He helped guide me in job search and building my resume and talking through my work history and experience. He reminded me about my value. In the past, when I wasn't getting hired, it was easy to be frustrated, but he helped me to stick with it. I eventually got back into teaching, a career I had already done for many years, but left it because I haven't found the right job for me. And because of my persistence, my current position I'm with today is an organization, a great organization that found me. Now, I have a better paying job, and I work in a positive environment in which I truly love. I'll eventually earn a pension. What's the most rewarding part of this experience so far is my journey towards home ownership. Before joining the EMPath program, the idea of owning a home was not on my radar. I can't say that it was a dream of mine because I never thought it was possible. Now, because of all the other progress I've made with budgeting and my job, and my mentors supporting and empowering me along the way, I hope to make the leap to owning a home in just 6 months. What has also been valuable is that my mentor encouraged me to not only think about my financial health, but to make sure I don't forget about my mental health, my spiritual health, and my physical health. This has helped contribute to my overall well-being, the whole Zandria. Before joining EMPath, I often thought to myself, I can just stay put right where I'm at. It's easy here. What I want isn't doable, and I'm not even worthy of that. It took me a long time. I finally reached the point where I am able to say, girl, you got this. And I'm so glad I did. I would not have been able to make the progress I did without Amped Up Boston program and my mentor, Jonah. Thank you, Jonah. And he couldn't be more handsome. I want to encourage people who are just like me, sitting there, wanting things but having a hard time trusting. Even though I had the tools right in front of me, EMPath has helped me build that trust, helped me figure out how to best use those tools I already had, and supported me as I move forward. Remember, you are not your past. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're happy to take any topic-related questions if you have any about EMPup, if you have any about the amazing new program that the city is launching. If you have other questions, are you available later? On the side. If you have other questions, we can figure that out as well. So if there are any questions.
Speaking about, recruiting efforts, how many families or participants are there currently in the program? And what's the ultimate target?
Currently, it's 266. We're at the halfway point, so we want to double that by next year.
And what do recruitment efforts look like?
Well, the folks have to be low income and live in housing like BHA housing. They have to be able and willing to work, fall between 18 and is it 60, 59? 55 years old. And if you're eligible, we encourage folks to learn more. They can go to ampupboston.org. They can go to empathways.org to find out more about the program. It's a very powerful program, as you heard from one of our participants. We've got shared goals around moving the residents of Boston up the economic ladder so that people can afford to stay in the city that they grew up in, the city that they love.
What are some of the things you've learned from this program? What are some of the major takeaways?
I think what is important for everyone here to really realize are some of the key points that Zandria highlighted in her remarks, and that she is in the driver's seat. We are not here to tell families what to do or what they should aspire to. And so it's really about helping to guide and facilitate that process and really center the families that we are working with here in Boston. So it's really important that we meet people where they are, that we build those relationships. You heard about the amazing trusting relationship that Zandria has with Jonah, her mentor. That is the key to our work, really kind of centering in on that mentor relationship with the folks in our program and making sure that they understand that they are the drivers and we want to support their goals. And so that's key in all of our programs. We meet people where they are, we center the folks, and we help them achieve their biggest and wildest dreams, because that's what we all deserve. You heard Zandria talk about feeling not even worthy to aspire or not being able to think of a goal so big like homeownership because you just don't see it. And so it's really important that we help folks understand that they can achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. And when you break down a big problem into smaller steps, it's easier to get there. Many of the folks that we're working with live in deep poverty. They have experienced compounded stress and traumas constantly in their lives. And when you're facing that kind of when you're kind of caught up in that kind of life and that cycle, because it's a cycle, it's just nonstop, it's hard to kind of do that long-term planning, that goal setting that is going to move you forward. And so we recognize that at EMPath, and our approach helps folks tackle that problem and then think beyond that problem so that the other problems that are bubbling up, they're in a better position to tackle those problems and then really achieve their goals. Other questions?
Okay, if there's no questions, we did provide you all with lunch, and it's in the back. Brian, thank you very much for the lunch, and whoever bought the lunch, and it's in the rear. So I need some volunteers to help with the lunch.
Volunteers, please. Raise your hand.